I'm going to show the whole class on how to complete the second and third charts for your Excel project. Hopefully, if you were absent last class, hopefully there's one or two students that might be able to sit down and help you get caught up by going to page layout and changing it to be 1 page wide by 3 pages tall, and to go to the view tab and click on page layout view to get the what I call the Microsoft Word look to it. Also, hopefully all of you, if you were here last class, you were able to complete the first stacked bar graph. Actually, they call them a column graph in Excel, and drag it down below all of your questions. What I'm going to show you how to make is your triple bar graph and your pie graph today. So to start off, this is something that we may or may not have done last class period, so I'll show you real quick how to do that. To make a triple bar graph, because we have our 2 columns of categories here, and we need to add a third column called total. And so I'm going to just type in total here. Now I could sit here and add these 2 numbers up and type the answers in here, but I could just do it real quick by highlighting these 4 cells. And on the top right corner there's a button here called Auto Sum. If I press that button 1 time, it'll automatically add these rows up for me and put my third column in. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these cells to begin making my chart or graph. Make sure you select the row with the boys, girls, and total line is, and your choices and your data. Make sure you don't select more than what you need, or else you'll have empty space in your chart. It'll just look weird. So I'm going to select my, also when you're selecting, make sure that your cursor looks like a white plus sign. That is super important. Once you do that, you simply go to the Insert tab up at the top, click on Column, and pick the very first one on this list. It's called a clustered column. When you do that, it's going to automatically make it a triple bar graph. All we need to do is add a couple quick things to it, and we'll pretty much call this one done. So what I'm going to do is I'm in the chart tools up top here in the design tab. I'm going to change the chart layout to layout number 9, which is going to give me the room for the title and the 2 axes. So I could change the chart title to be your header, which is going to be your question. Now, because it is a question, you do not have to capitalize all the letters of the title here, but the axes that you're going to label do need to be capitalized. How you label them is up to you. When it's all said and done, you'll have these 3 things labeled. If you remember right before, to move the chart around, you need to grab what I call the white space on the corners here, not the exact corner of the chart, but somewhere in the white area, and it allows you to move the chart around. We're almost done. All we need to do to add to the bottom here is the table, and it's very easily done by going up at the top and clicking on the Layout tab, not Page Layout, but Layout tab underneath the chart tools up at the top, and you'll see where it says over here Data Table inside the Labels area, and then you basically say Show Data Table, and it'll put the table down below. Once you have all these things done, you have your title, your axes, and the table. Now you can take your whole chart and you can slide it all the way down at the very bottom. And I mentioned this last class, but if you have any of these options that are cut off at unusual areas, all you need to do is resize the column to be a little wider, and that should fix most of those issues. If not, just hold that question till when I come back to class next time we meet. Resizing it to be wide like this is not necessary for most people, and there you go. If you want to pause this video at this time right now to get everybody caught up with how to do a triple bar graph, if you want to rewind it and play that again, feel free to do so. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to show how to make the pie graph. So if you want to pause it now, please do that now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make pie graphs. I do have a problem here with pie graphs because if I were to select the chart like I did with all my other ones, select the data, I'm sorry, and go to the Insert tab and choose pie, I'll pick the original 2D pie, but I have a problem here. It's only showing me just boys. It does not show me the data for girls. So what does that mean? That means I have to make two separate pie graphs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this chart and I'm going to start over. I'm just going to select just the column with the choices and the boys with their answers here. Now I'm only saying this boys because this is going to be your first category. It'll be different for everybody probably. Now I'm going to go to Insert and choose Pie and pick the first list off of here. Okay, I'm almost done here. I need to go and choose, let's see here. For right now, we're going to keep the chart almost as is, except I'm going to change the chart title. I'm going to make it my third question, but watch what I also do. It says what? But I'm also going to add the word boys, and I'm going to put that in parentheses here so that I know that this pie graph represents the data for boys. The other information inside the pie graph, I'll show you how to change that next class when we come in. But I'm simply done with this chart. So I'm going to take this chart and I'm going to slide this down at the bottom underneath my other charts and put it right here. And now I need to make the same pie graph for girls. And this is a neat little trick that I'm going to show you. Here's what you're going to do. Number one, you're going to select the empty space below the question, and you're going to click and drag and just choose all of your choices, and you're going to let go of the mouse button. Notice I'm not clicking anywhere. I've selected that area. Now on your keyboard, you're going to, with your left hand, hold down the Control key on the keyboard, and then you're going to select the word girls and choose the other answers below it. And so now you're going to have the two sets of data selected. It's very important that you selected the white space and the category girls and the data below. Make sure they're even. When you have these both selected, now I'm going to go back to the Insert tab, choose pie in the first graph again. Now it's the same looking data. Now I'm going to basically change my title. And make sure you put girls in parentheses. And now I can take this chart and slide this down at the bottom here. There you go. Now be careful, if I slide down at the bottom here, I don't want my chart cut off, so I need to go into that third page. Okay, and there you go. Now I have plenty of space for my final two charts here. The final two charts at the end are charts of your choosing. So if you want to insert and make a column graph, a line graph, pie, a bar, yes, you can do the three-dimensional ones and cones and things like that. Just be wary of changing colors because the colors, when we print these out, will just be simply black and white, and some colors do not look good printed in black and white. So hopefully this helps answer some of your questions. Feel free to pause, rewind, and do whatever you need at the end.